It's the moment you've all been waiting for. That's right. I know you've been looking forward to it. It's our second installment of Fat Guy in a Little Boat. This is the segment where me and Sean talk about nothing but kayaks, kayak fishing, and being on the water. This episode's special because we've also got a guest. Good buddy of ours, fishing enthusiast, kayak enthusiast. His name's Mike Johnson. We're going to talk about some recent trips he went on, kayaking on bigger water like the Ohio River, and how to get people on those bodies of water. This episode is also going to be a little bit special because I'm splitting it up into two parts. When all three of us get together, we talk a lot, so we varied so much in our conversation. I had to split it up into two parts. Otherwise, I'm afraid you guys would get really bored. So sit back, enjoy. This is Zach Jenkins. Thanks for listening to the 12 Hike Podcast. Nature is the door to happiness.
The things that you see, the experiences that you have while kayaking stand out.
Not only is it people's own personal kind of spiritual experiences that we try to create in the wilderness for people, it's also like this community building thing, right?
There are lots of keys you can use to unlock it.
And like we all got to be Goonies for a little bit if we grew up in the 80s. That was an absolute dream to go find, a pirate's chest full of gold.
Now, as you can tell, we're pretty passionate about catfishing. We could keep talking all night long, really.
Let us help you find your key. Welcome to the 12 Hike Podcast.
Open my eyes, and here's this Milky Way, and I'm looking at this, and like it was an instant reaction. Like I went to nudge somebody next to me because I wanted them to see the same thing I was seeing. I wanted to share that with somebody, and it was.
Mr. Mike, how's everything been, dude? I know before we get too far into it, I do want to say my condolences for your mother-in-law.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Same for me.
Does your wife seem to be handling it okay?
Yeah, she's doing a lot better. She's doing real good.
Good. So, also, I've got one other bone to pick.
Mm-hmm.
This past week, I was, I guess, unfortunately forced to see two of the ugliest, most gruesome pictures I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
One of them was Sean's disgusting peeling feet.
Oh, that was rough.
Yeah. and the other one was your disgusting NuCanoe nose. That's probably
that you can bunch those in the same group. I'm pretty sure the NuCanoe is worse.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't see the picture. Woo.
You can get. Problem is you see the feet and the NuCanoe. That's the problem.
Oh my God. That would have been Reddit worthy for sure. Sean's feet in that ugly boat. Good God. Sean's got weird kayak feet anyway, so if you've ever been kayaking with Sean, he wears socks and shoes, and you get on the water all day, he doesn't take his shoes off, you get sunburnt, you get back, get in the car, and he takes his shoes off and puts his sandals on. Well, his feet turn ghostly white.
Yeah, they do.
And the rest of him looks bronze goddess. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen.
I mean, I would have went for bronze god, I would have been okay with that.
Oh shoot, man.
So, what's everybody been into? I know both of you guys have been out and about here lately.
I've been. We went out. Well, you seen that? We went out to the moonlight paddle on Turkey Creek that night, and then last weekend. What?
Talk about the Turkey Creek moonlight paddle, because that's cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't even know such a thing existed.
Yeah, well, it's something like Connex just put on for just a pop-up thing to go out there. So we went out, and it was a full moon that night. It was that blood moon, the red moon. So we went out and we paddled around. Man, it was real calm. You could see everything because how bright the moon was. But I think the coolest thing that we seen was we seen the space station go across the sky. I mean, like you could see like the main part of it and all the trailing lights and stuff on it, plain as day. It was it was pretty strange. Yeah, I'd never seen anything like that before, and that was pretty neat. But there was about 20 some people out there, I think, and the water was super calm. It looked like a mirror out there. It was a pretty good evening, nice and cool, nice.
Is that something they're going to keep on doing?
Yeah, they just actually did it last weekend again.
Oh, wow.
Dawn down there, Dawn Scott, she'll do those every now and then. And, I think it's mostly right now to escape the heat, right now because it's so hot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here it's hot, 90.
Yeah.
I think it got down to 65 here today.
Oh my gosh, regular heat wave.
Yeah, I almost had to put a long sleeve shirt on. It's kind of chilly.
Yeah.
So where else did you go after the moonlight paddle? What was next?
After that, the following weekend we went out to Hammertown, and it was a little breezy, a little cool, and we was out there, I don't know, maybe an hour or so, and then it come a rain, so we didn't battle through it. We kind of packed up and left there then, but the water was super choppy and hard paddling. I had the big ugly new canoe out there too. Wrong boat for rough water, let me tell you that, because it was like paddling a kiddie pool through the through the water. It was horrible. So the wife and her best friend, of course, they were in regular kayaks, so they thought, well, we'll paddle up around the bend there, and then against the wind. And they thought, well, when we come back, the wind will help us get back. It'll help push us. It'll be at our backs. Well, by the time we got up around the other part of the lake and started on our way back, when the rain came, there was no wind. So it was just the water was still rough, but there wasn't much wind. But so it was some pretty rough paddling in a lake.
I like Hammertown Lake a lot, but
Yep.
as a paddling lake, not a fishing lake.
Well, I was talking to a few people, and they absolutely swear by Hammertown Lake as a fishing spot at nighttime. They said that you can catch a lot of nice bass out there at nighttime, but it's so clear through the day, But said it's hard to catch them through the day unless you fish deep, and then you're going to catch those fish, but probably crappie and stuff like that. But a few people I talked to said at nighttime it's super. Said you can clean up.
Any other trips you're taking here lately?
Not here recently. No kayaking.
You went hiking though, didn't you? You went up to Lake Catherine?
Yeah, we actually just went out there yesterday.
Oh man,
we actually
you got to go to Lake Catherine?
Yeah, it was. That's a nice place. The first time was a few weekends ago. Me and Rhonda went out, and we just hiked a mile and a half. And this last one, yesterday, we went on a 2.5. The first one we went on, it didn't go. It went down into the valleys along the creeks, and circled back around the hillsides. But this one, you actually took off, at the parking lot, which is elevated, and it's a nice hike down to the creeks. And then we hiked it, and it winded back up along the trails, winded back up along the hills there, and it actually brought you out in to Lake Catherine, which I had never seen it before. And when you're entering into Lake Catherine, you actually cross the spillway bridge, and the spillway for this is actually like a creek with a waterfall in it. Like it has it. Of course, I'm pretty sure it's man-made right there, but it has it looked like 5 or 6 tiers of waterfalls in it. It's pretty cool, and the lake's pristine, but they don't allow any fishing. You can get a permit to kayak it, but they don't allow any swimming, fishing, or nothing in there probably because it is a nature preserve.
I thought you could fish.
No, there's signs no fishing at Lake Catherine. The whole place is a nature preserve, so I'm sure that they're afraid something's going to upset the ecosystem.
See, I thought for sure that you just had to make an appointment.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can. Maybe you can do that online. I didn't know because I hadn't been to till we went the first time there a few weekends ago. That was the first time I ever even been there. Lived here my whole life and only been there, but the lake's awesome. It's a very pristine lake, clear water. I mean, well, not clear, but just clean and really beautiful area out there.
I have to look into that because I know a couple of years ago, my old neighbor wanted me to make an appointment to go out there, but maybe they've changed it since then.
I don't know.
That's a possibility.
Well, some places like that, well, you both know as well as I do, you can have an area that's a really nice area, and then, some people can ruin it for others because of trash and things like that. I don't know. I didn't check into the fishing. I just seen the signs that said no fishing. No fishing and no wading. You couldn't wade in there. So
interesting. So Sean, you took a couple of trips, right?
Yeah. Weekend before last. Nope, because we're still in this weekend. So last weekend, I get my dates confused. We went to the newly renovated public access to Ohio Brush Creek by Serpent Mound. And one of the neat things about it is, Serpent Mound has the hiking trail that takes you out along the cliffs over Ohio Brush Creek, and it gives you a great overview of the landscape from the cliffs. But when you kayak in Ohio Brush Creek, it puts you right underneath those cliffs, so you actually paddle along the cliffs in the water. It was really neat. There's a big, huge outcropping of stone that came out, and there was this really gnarly pine tree that kind of grew off of the cliff and down towards the creek, and then it curved right at the bottom and started to grow back up. The kids thought that was really neat. It was the first time I'd ever paddled Ohio Brush Creek. There's a small section that I had waded before, and there's a couple spots that I'd fished from the bank, but it was really neat. The water was a little muddy, so the fishing wasn't the best. But I did manage to catch a couple smallmouth, which is always fun. Anytime you can catch a creek smallmouth is a good day. And I guess I can't really talk about that trip without telling the foot story. What do you think, Zach?
Fire it up, because it's a good one.
So, my wife and I, we bought these foot masks, or foot, whatever you want to call them, and it just looks like a sock almost.